Are you ready to turbocharge your vision into reality? We present Visionary Compass Accelerator Program vcap, a 40-week execution-driven coaching program designed for those who dare to dream big. In today's world, what sets dreamers apart from doers is the power of execution, and that is what vcap is all about.
Whether you are an entrepreneur, a career professional, a ministry gift, a thought leader, a public servant, or someone in government, you would find the Visionary Compass Accelerator program as a powerful platform and launch pad to put momentum behind your mission.
Over the next 40 weeks, you will embark on a journey of strategic planning, skill development, and relentless execution. Our expert coaches, industry leaders, and success mentors will be with you every step of the way. Imagine being part of a community that not only believes in your vision, but also provides the tools and guidance to bring it to life.
What we have within the Visionary Compass Accelerator program are 4 distinct execution blueprints based on your mastery level. Our digital execution blueprints will support your ability to execute your vision wherever you are currently, because it offers you a plug and play step-by-step guide with specific actions and tasks that move you on to being able to get your vision to the next level. What is most exciting with the execution blueprint is that we don't just put it in your hands and leave you alone. You actually have certified accountability coaches by the International Association of Coaching in the USA that would also walk that journey with you. You also have access to Dr. Oleg Konovalov's Global Visionary Leadership Coaching Certification. You have access to internships and field trips that set you up in a real industry context, whatever your service area is.
That's the Visionary Compass Accelerator difference. This isn't just a coaching program. It's a catalyst for change. Whether you're a founder, an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or someone seeking personal growth, the Visionary Compass Accelerator program will elevate you to new heights. Don't just take our word for it. Visit our website www.myvisionarycompass.com and hear from our community who have experienced the transformative power of vcap. Ready to turn your vision into reality? Join the Visionary Compass Accelerator program today and become part of a community that thrives on execution, innovation, and success. The future is here. Let's make it extraordinary together. Visit myvisionarycompass.com today.
Welcome to the Visionary Talk Show Day 3. We're so glad to have you. We're delighted that you're back with us today to have a wonderful experience where we showcase visionaries who have passed through the Visionary Compass Accelerator program and have emerged as bold visionaries in this decade. Day 1 was turbocharged. Day 2 was soul stirring. And day 3, you are in for quite a ride. We have 2 amazing visionaries today who have blazed the trail and have achieved amazing things in their different spheres of influence. We're excited to have them here, and we're excited to have you here. Please tell us in the comment section where you are joining from and what you're expecting to hear today, what you're expecting to learn, what you're expecting to receive. It's been an amazing, amazing time. I love the insights that have been coming through. I love the comments that we get, the feedback we get from you. We see your applications, and we are delighted that you choose to spend this evening with us again. You are most welcome, Elia Joy. It's lovely to see you here again. Hello, Dennis from Ghana. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Whatever part of the world where you are streaming from, it might be morning, afternoon, evening, you are most welcome. The Visionary Talk Show is the annual webinar series that we have when we open up the Visionary Compass Accelerator Program. Visionary Compass Accelerator Program, also known as vcap, is the 40-week MBA grade. As a matter of fact, life grade program that you have to go through if you want to emerge as a visionary that will transform Africa. If we must rebuild Africa, Africa will be rebuilt by the visionaries. And thus that's me. We are the visionaries. You have all it takes, and vcap was built for you. Whatever the vision that burns in your heart is, whether it's production, it's parenting, it's programming, or family, faith, or fashion, vcap is for you. You came for the fire. We brought the transformation to you. Thank you for joining from Kenya. Thank you for joining from Nigeria. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Where are the others? We want to see where you're joining us from. It's lovely when we know. Thank you so much. Please keep them rolling in. So vcap is built for you to take you through the process of clarifying, building, launching, and scaling that divine vision that is in your heart. And vcap is breakthrough and breathtaking in its entirety. Everything about vcap was built for you. And today you will hear from two people who have passed through vcap. Just like you and I, they are regular people who have now become forces to reckon with. Please join me as we welcome today Ugochi Obidiegu and Yagazie Eguare.
Yagazie Eguare is a distinguished professional photographer, educator, and leader in the photography industry, revolutionizing the narrative of African photography through her esteemed brand, Gaz Madu Studios. Founded in 2012, Gaz Madu Studios specializes in timeless portraits, documentary photography, and films for diverse clients, alongside comprehensive educational resources and a vibrant photography community. Yagazie's captivating images empower clients to see themselves in new ways, inspiring them to reach their full potential. Committed to elevating the perspectives on African photography and empowering creatives, she founded the Gaz Madu Education Platform, impacting over 10,000 photographers. Her mission-driven approach extends to representing God's purpose in the marketplace, building a global brand that tells transgenerational stories while staying true to her core values. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome Yagazie Eguare. Ugochi Obidiegu is a social development strategist known for her expertise in addressing pressing development issues affecting young people. Specializing in speaking engagements, program development, and policy advisory, she focuses on injury prevention in children, reducing substance abuse in youth, and guiding social impact initiatives. Through her child safety social enterprise, The Safety Chick, and her faith-based nonprofit, UGIP Foundation, she equips young people with tools to reach their full potential. Recognized for her work in child safety, she has received international acclaim and has been featured in media worldwide. Ugochi is dedicated to training and developing innovative programs that foster social development in young Africans. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome Ugochi Obidiegu.
Yay! Welcome! Welcome on board, guys. Welcome on board, Ugochi. We're excited to have you here. Who else is excited to see them? I see someone say, Ugochi, my mentor. Yes. Awesome. It's so good to see you. I'm delighted to see guys on the other side of the camera. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Welcome. So you want to say hello? Go ahead.
Hi, Mrs. Notch. Hi, Agassier. Hi, everyone listening to us today. Hi, everyone listening. I am so excited to be here. I'm super, super. I've been waiting, like, almost every hour. Is it time? Is it time? So I'm so pumped. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for joining us today. You look amazingly beautiful, both of you. Stunning,
Thank
actually.
you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so much.
joining us. Before we move further along, I have someone else in the studio, the person who created all of this, our CEO and lead coach, mentor, pro coach, transformational catalyst, leader, executive. Oh, gosh, I run out of words for DDK. I don't know why. Because she's just awesome in so many ways. Let's give it up for our pro coach, DDK.
Hi, Lady DDK.
Absolute joy to be here. Um, while my internet was acting funny, the only thing I continued to see on the screen was Yagazi smiling. And I was like, gosh, Yagazi's beautiful spirit. And I'm just catching all the memories of time at VCAP, our own personal conversations. We were on the
Yes,
one-on-one plans. So I have such special, rich memories of the things we discussed, and I see some things online today. I see the epic launch of the Island Studio Expression, and I'm just like, yeah, yeah, we're living in the future that we anticipated, envisioned,
yes,
and it's
yes,
just how you've maintained such boldness in the pursuit of your vision, but with such authenticity and femininity and calmness and kindness. It's really precious, and I'm glad to have you here. I'm excited that you joined in on this talk show today.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
kindly.
DDK.
Yes, my pleasure. And I'm happy to see you, Gochi. We're still speaking a few days ago. It was 4 a.m. plus your time. And I was just like, I mean, the loyalty that you have to your vision and what you see as possible is always been so compelling, always been so compelling. And I'm just truly proud of you. And I love how, even though you started the work with safety chick, and it was just the message of safety going on around schools for the next generation. With you, I have witnessed a very inspiring growth graph, how it just continues to open up more and more. And it's almost the truth about vision, how it progressively elaborates, how it's moved beyond getting into schools, telling these young children stories that inspire them to become safety champions, onto creating curriculum that is now very beloved by states, and then moving beyond the Anglophone African countries to translating into, French and partnerships, and now representing the continent in international, stakeholder engagements. It's
Growth is
breathtaking,
Yes,
and I'm so proud of you. And I
thank
thank you for making out the time to join us.
thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Of course, we've been having a really remarkable time, and I love how even when the visionary talk show each day is done, we have so many visionaries who then go back and have a feast, and it's really inspiring, the sort of feedback coming through, and also how we have people now applying, and your stories are so inspiring. People are saying, "I want to do this too. I want to take things to the next level," and that's a blessing. I'm just going to go right on into the question I have for you before I put you back in the hands of the ultra engaging host of the Visionary Talk Show this year, Mrs. Notch. And I'll start with you, Yagazi. My question is really around audacity. Is around audacity. And the reason I'm asking is twofold. On the one side, it's connected to the caliber of conversations we had, and how you came into that one-on-one coaching relationship, and I still see you do that with how I just observed the steps you're taking, ready to literally shed old skin, insistent on you know releasing your greatness, with intention. Like just taking no excuses and literally going for the jugular, that I will really be who I see myself as becoming. And I've always seen that audacity. The second reason I'm asking is because by personality, you actually like have a very chilled way to you. And I think it's a beautiful thing for those who may feel that execution is a personality type. That going for gold with your vision is a personality type, that pushing beyond the grain, beyond the status quo is a personality type. How do we pursue and embrace audacity as the energy of vision beyond being an introvert or being an extrovert or being pushy or outgoing necessarily? How do we sustain that kind of momentum? How did you acquire the thing that makes you never say never? That makes you say, look, this thing is a multi-million naira project, but we're going to execute it and we're going to do it and excellent. You know, how are you crazy like that? And you're still how?
I like that question. Like, how are you crazy like that? Because I don't. I mean, like you said, I have a very chilled disposition, right? But I think that I have that disposition on the outside, but on the inside, like there's a lot of fire inside my heart, you know. And I think I would say that's really the power of vision, right? And just knowing, seeing this person that you have the potential of becoming, right? And knowing that it's not enough to see it. It's not enough to think that it can happen. It's not enough to dream about it, right? That there is something that needs to shift from your inside in order for you to start to step into even, a bit of the manifestations of that. But the thing is that sometimes we don't even get into that place by ourselves, right? And I remember, unbundling 2020. I don't know if DDK you remember, right? I said after I read
Yes.
your book, I went through unbundling, and I remember, I would stand up. I was just listening. I would not sleep in the night. And it was like, oh my God, like this is, I didn't know that this is what I had the capacity of doing
Yes.
and being. It was like you were that midwife that was just pushing, you were pushing on my inside so much that I could not control it. I remember in my house, I kept pacing all over the place, and I'm just like, oh my God, what have you been doing all the while? And that, I feel like that was it was like the birthing process. Of course, I had the vision, right? But I didn't really know how I was going to go about it. I needed
Yes.
someone to stir me up in the right direction so that I can start to understand that I have the capacity inside of me to birth that which I desire.
Wow. What is going on? This moved from zero to hero too quickly. Like that was 0 to 100. Like it escalated on us fast. The power of midwives. I love it. And I have a sub for it. And this one is where my burden is, Yagazi. I do find that even though execution is really around frameworks and principles, you cannot take away the role of the fire, the inner fire. What makes us not lose our inner fire? In VCAP, there's a nice little thing that we say sometimes. We even have it pinned, within our group, and it says, if you don't play, VCAP doesn't play. If you don't play, like yeah. So we even had to start to rethink our admissions model to more to become even more intentional about curating the kind of rooms we want for our fellow visionaries and determining the kind of people who come in, because the kind of people who come in, it instantly impacts on the kind of opportunities they will go for. How have you maintained your fire? How didn't disappointment or even success take away from your fire? What's kept you going? What are like the monthly, quarterly, weekly, annual routines that you have going in your life that continues to fan to flames the fire of vision that helps you keep executing and keep moving forward with what you carry in your heart?
I would say it's really just having that consistent growth mindset. I never feel like I have arrived. The goalpost is so far. Like I'm not even like it's so far. Like I see there's so much potential. There's so much that is possible. There's so much that can be done, right? And I still know that I have so much inside of me that I still need to give. So of course, there are times when it feels like, it can be tiring. And that's why it's very important to be intentional about your growth as a visionary and
So good.
intentional about creating the environment that will continuously support that growth in places, in people, in principles. So, who are the people that you are going to be intentional about surrounding yourself so that the days the fire sort of goes down, there's somebody whose fire is very high, and you can tap into that fire and you will be reminded that, see, there's still something inside of you, right? What are the things that you're going to be doing continuous? And one of the things about vcap was, it was even the Monday morning, the little quotes that would just come, right? And you just put out there. DDK, the visionary confession that you gave us at the graduation. Like, come on. Like,
Hey.
I still use that because the truth is that those days are going to come and you need to arm yourself with tools. It's like you are on a war zone every time you wake up. So it's like be intentional about arming yourself with the right tools to keep this fire burning so that every single time you're putting wood inside the fire, because the previous wood you put in is going to burn out. So you need to put in more wood, and it's your
Good.
responsibility to intentionally surround yourself with things that keep lighting that fire consistently. It's an intentional process. It's not casual. In people, in places, in the habits, in the principles. Like, who are you following? Like DDK, there's somebody following you that will just be like, you have said to DDK, you are doing like every time I still see, I'm just like, God, he is my teacher, oh God. Whatever is on her, he needs to me. It's I would say it has really been that the people. I'm so protective of who I surround myself with, where I am going, the spaces I am going to be in, and the visionary compass, oh my God. It's like every single time you take one action, you're seeing somebody that's taking like 10, 12 action. You are
Yes.
rejoicing that you're taking one. And then someone is like, I've done this, I've done this, I've done it. You're just like, wow,
Yeah.
you guys are not even playing here. Like, what's going on?
Yes. So good. Oh wow. That was like a mini masterclass right on us really
Yes.
quickly. And I
Mm-hmm.
caught I feel like I got an answer for something I was still thinking about today. In the people, the places, the principles, profound. So you're responsible for guarding your fire.
Yes.
I love it. So good. So well said. Ugochi, I've got a question for you, and it's around the faith, it's around the future forward faith that causes you to burn the bridges that can take you back to comfort. Like you do crazy things that I'm just like, hey, what if it doesn't work? Like, who are you to believe this big? I see big belief. I see future forward faith. I see, I see a radical mindset every time I think about you. Like even the last conversation we're having, and I'm hearing you basically say, um, I'm building legacy systems for, the forerunners and the establishment. And I am now at a place where what I see is not merely something I just want to own and have a name behind. I see solutions for my industry that requires gravitas and requires scale and requires government engagement. And we need these stakeholders on board because this is about Africa. This is about the industry. Why? Like, how far? Why so grand? You see. And then the other part is I've seen you step out to audacious execution when you didn't have all the resources you needed. And it's a matter of if you got stranded in the middle, you would embarrass the entire community, all of us, including me, all of us together. Like, but you go ahead and this thing, they always pull through. But how are you not afraid? How, or if you're doing it afraid, cut some soap for us. What gives you this type of conviction? And what makes you dream so big that is always bigger than where you are?
So this question, I don't even know where to start. So first of all, thank you so much, Lady DTK, for inviting me to be on this platform. And I have to thank Mrs. Notch because I've watched the replays of the past 2 days, and she just made everything so, so nice and so
Yes.
on point. So thank you for all the energy that you've brought. Now to this question, honestly, I just believe what God says. So, and it's just as simple as that. My friends will tell me, they say, you always say, God said it, so we have to rearrange and make it happen. And I didn't know I used to say that a lot to them because they start pointing it out to me. But I said, well, if he said it, then that means that there is a way. Maybe we don't just have it all figured out right now, but if we just start, he would make it clear. And one of the things God taught me early on, I think that was about in 2019 when he asked me to do something big. And I'm like, this, your vision is expensive. I don't even have this money. How are we going to do it? But one of the things that I learned was if God says to do something, start moving. Your movement shows that you agree with him. And once you make that move and show that you agree with what he says, then it begins to cause every other thing to align in that direction. So what I started to do was when he says, let's do this, and it sounds so big and so out of touch, I'll say, okay. And then I'll start writing things down. I'll start creating a plan. And then I would look for how to create a small version of what he has said.
Mm.
Let you know that I agree with you, I believe you, but as I'm here, this is what I have can afford. But because I make that move, then God begins to cause the other things to align. Even it now makes me to begin to see the opportunity. So that's why when I see the opportunities that can fund the vision, immediately I receive all those emails. I'm like, that's my money. Maybe they're looking for 100 people, they are not looking for 99. I know my own space is there. So all I just need to do now is I will now say, oh, because I know that God has said this is going to happen, I would relax, that it's just going to fall on my head. No, I'm still going to put out an exceptional application, but I know my slot is there. They're just looking for the other people. Me, I'm there. I'm there already. So I think that's what has really helped me to put some structure or move in the direction of really big things. Because like you said, sometimes it feels like we are going to go and embarrass ourselves in the village square, but but because I just really believe, and then I make that small example, just do something, and then other things begin to align as I go.
I love it. So this, it feels to me almost like this whole concept of rapid prototyping is scriptural. It's a way to say I'm putting my skin in the game,
Yes.
and I'm taking a miniature version of this image and I'm stepping out with it. And I like when you said it so innocently. That's your way of almost saying, I believe, oh, this your bigger picture. I don't have the budget or the capacity, but I believe. And then I also sort of picked when you then said, the moment you step out, the equivalent opportunities in the environment will gravitate in your direction. Your eyes will see them because you then said, you'll be like, hey, that's my money.
Mhm.
That is what I require to go to the next level with this. I have a sub, and I'll put it in the hands of Mrs. Notch, but the underlying next question around that is, because I see the way you negotiate for opportunities that support the vision you've received, I started to say to myself, Ugochi has a superpower. I'm not even sure she knows it, but maybe we can bottle this her expertise, put a NAVDAC number on it, and start to all take it as pills. How do you show up negotiating opportunities, partnerships, without ever feeling like you're asking for too much or you're over withdrawing? How are you that person that people often want to say yes to, institutions want to open doors for? And sometimes you are negotiating what is even not protocol or status quo.
or what is naturally available, but then they will carve this thing up for you and say, yeah, let's do it. What's the mindset that makes you audacious to ask for what you need?
Because I need it. I need it. Yeah, I need it and I don't have it, right? And God said we have to do it. So that means everybody that needs to make it happen is around and I need it. So I'm going to reach out to you.
Okay,
I'm going to
now.
make the proposal. I'm going to make the presentation. I'm going to let you see the big picture. I'm going to let you know that this is not just about me. These are the people that are tied to this. And if we focus on the people that we are trying to serve, if we focus on the problem we're trying to solve, it's going to help everybody. So it's really not about Ugochi right now, it's about the problem. And so when I turn it in that direction, they are more willing, to move because they can see that, okay, she's not really just thinking about herself. She's just really focused on this problem that she's trying to solve.
So good.
So that's what has helped me in whenever I have to do anything, even in student leadership and all of that. I'm like, this is the problem. We have to do it like this. These are the people that are going to be affected. So it just makes it I won't say it's easy, but I just have to do it because God has already said this thing has to be done, and I'm the human person here to push through. And if I don't say anything in that time, I don't want to begin to have regret and guilt that I was where I could have said something that would have helped other people, and then I kept quiet.
Yes.
So I don't want that to ever be me. So as long as it's possible, even if my voice is shaking, I'm going to speak. I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to make
I'm going to
requests.
speak.
Yes, I would speak. Yeah.
The power of the voice, the power of the ask. What this is good. This look, and you're like, I need it. It's simple. I can go away with that and go try it even tonight with my chairman, and just be like, look, I need it. I'm going for it. That's solid. Ugochi Yagazi, you have my utmost respect. You're incredible visionaries. I believe that our community will be truly impacted by your wisdom tonight, and I'm thankful that vcap has been a part of your story, will continue to be a part of your story, and I look forward to what we can do next. I'll put you now in the hands of the delectable Mrs. Notch, who is our amazing host for the Visionary Talk Show this year. Thank you kindly.
Wow. Thank you, DDK. DDK says she's putting it back in my hands. My hands are on fire right now. Like today. What? First of all, before we even go further along, you need vcap. You need it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You need to get in right now. Don't even think that you can negotiate yourself out of it. You need that audacity that is in the room today. If you don't get your portion of it, then I can't help you. They have just told you exactly how it's done. You have to have that bold vision. You have to dare for more. You have to believe that you are capable of more. Look at the things that Yagazie is doing. If you're not following Gazmadu Studios, you are sleeping on a bicycle. I see her and I'm wondering how, just like DDK said, how this is crazy. This is awesome. And Ugochi is going for opportunities that her budget cannot even carry with boldness. That is liver. She eats liver for breakfast. So you're going to click on that link for Visionary Compass, and whatever you see there, have it for breakfast. You need to apply for it. Don't say it's out of my budget, I can't afford it. You have to move in the direction of the vision that is burning in your heart. Take that step. Move in that direction and things will align for you. You can't just watch the Visionary Talk Show and say, oh, it was fireful. Thank you. Amazing. Inspiring. No, we are inspiring you to have audacity to actualize your vision, and then we want to accelerate it for you. Yagazi has told us that we need midwives. You can't get there by yourself. No kidding. VCAP is here for you, and everything you need is in there. So just open the page first. Come back to the show. Come back to the show, and then we'll continue. My goodness. Thank you. I feel like we're already like halfway through already because the power that you guys have brought into the room, and they look so chill. Be wary of chill chicks. They carry a kind of fire that is unmistakable. My goodness. Please, guys, how did you become, and I hope it's okay to call you guys, how did you become this high value visionary? Can you tell us what does it mean to be a high value visionary? Because that's our topic for today. How did you rise from being a regular chilled chick to this powerful force. Tell us, cut some of that soap for us because we need it for our work.
So for me, I would say being a high value visionary, comes from understanding who you are and being rooted in that identity. And that's that identity in Christ, and I'm just going to share from my own perspective, right? And being rooted in that identity opens you up and allows you see who you really are. That is not where you're coming from. That is not the experiences that you've had. That is not what people have said concerning you, but who God has called you to be and what He has put inside of you and the capacity that has to change the world. Because that's really what God is really about. He wants to raise more people in the marketplace so that they can become all of who He has created them to be and impact lives, right? So a high value visionary is just knowing that, because once you have that understanding, because that's a basic. Now the second one is now being committed to your own personal growth. And I'm not just saying this because, we're in Visionary Compass or Visionary Talk Show, but because it is just the truth. That's the truth. It's not like there is no other way around it. There's no negotiating your way around. Like, you can't talk it out, right? The fact that you have seen something that you think that I am going to be great, I am going to be able to do this, it's not enough. You must understand that what you have seen is still in its raw form. You need to undergo a process that refines it and puts it in the way that the world actually needs it, so that you understand, how do I start to deploy this gift? What are the dimensions? What are the areas, the gaps that I have? What are the belief systems that I have had before now that I need to break out for me to be able to for me to start accessing the dimensions of that which I'm supposed to do? And that doesn't come just by naturally just thinking about it, right? That is where that commitment to personal growth comes into play. How are you going to develop that vision, right? Because the more you invest in yourself, because we're talking about being a high value visionary, right? The more you invest in yourself, the more the way you see yourself, the way you see the work that God has given to you is valuable. Because the reason why some people play with themselves and play with what God has given to them is because they don't actually think it's valuable. Because if you think it's that valuable, right, you understand that there is actually no price that I can pay that is enough in comparison to what this thing is. And the more you now put it on yourself, you now start to see yourself as a person of value. So because I'm a person of value, there is a way I must coordinate myself. There is a way I must operate. There are places I must be. There are things I must be intentional about. I must even know when I need to make the act, like what Ugochi said about, if there's a way, if you're not, there's a way that you haven't developed yourself that you won't even know when you're in the right place. Like when you need to make some certain decisions, or you need to make some certain acts. So that commitment to personal growth makes a lot of difference. And then I would say execution. There's no being a high value visionary without execution. That's the truth. Because you can dream it all you want, you can try to do it. It is action. It is the people that are taking the action. Those are the people that are going anywhere. That's the truth. Because it's not about being inspired, being this. It's like, now you have been being inspired. Now you have grown. What are you going to do? What is the action you're going to take? Because that is really what is now separating you from every other person out there.
My God, my God. If I remain seated till the end of this session, I have a higher degree of self-control than I ever knew. Goodness gracious. Execution is what makes you a high value visionary. So you don't have inertia. You need traction and action to be a high value visionary. Amazing. And you truly have to see yourself as that. You have to believe that that is who God has called you to be and be committed to your personal growth. So, a high value visionary is one who is committed to his or her personal growth. Ugochi, what commitments have you made to your personal growth, and how has it changed the game for you? How did it make you become this high value visionary? Because I see you as I see you on UNICEF, I see you on global stages, and I'm thinking, my God, what am I doing with my life? What is going on here? How did you become that person? What are those investments you made in yourself, in your personal growth, that took you from where you started from to where you are now?
So, high value visionary, HVV.
I love it.
HVV. So, I'll say the first thing is a learning aptitude. You must be committed to continuous learning and growing. Guys already said it that you never arrive. You just want to keep on learning and growing, because what brought you to where you are now is not enough to take you to the next level. It's just like saying that, oh, because you were the head girl in primary five and you were in charge of everybody, you don't now want to be the VC of a university. That's not good enough. It just can't work. And I know there might be those who might say, oh, but some people, not everybody wants to go and change the world and all of that. But even if you don't want to be the VC of a university, say you want to move to secondary school, you just have to move from where you are to the next, right?
Yes.
So learning aptitude is very, very important. You've got to be willing to learn and to grow. And then the next is execution. Like you can't, you just can't be a visionary without executing. You must be able to move the ideas from paper, from your head, from your tab, your computer into the real world. Because when you do that, you are going to find the things that worked and the things that didn't work. And then you can take your lessons from them, iterate it for the next time. But if you keep on waiting for things to be perfect, you're not going to do anything. Everything that I have done so far, many of it, there were lessons, there were things that were not perfect, but we did it anyway. And the things that were not perfect were good enough to get invitations to several international stages. Do you see? So if it did not come out to the real world, I mean, there wouldn't have been an invitation. So it has to leave your head. So execution is very, very important. And no matter the setback that comes your way, no matter the challenges, just take your lessons and move. It's very important. And then the next is self-respect, right? You just have to respect yourself. You say you're going to do something, you have to do it. Respect yourself. You can't keep on being the one that you have all these amazing ideas and you don't take action. And then tomorrow you see somebody else who did it because, and then, I had that idea at that time. Seriously. If you can't keep your word to your own self, how do you expect people to keep their word to you? Because if you keep your word to yourself, you can even lay a demand on that and say, God, you know me, I'm a diligent person. Because I'm a diligent person, I have to attract diligent people into my life. But if you're not even diligent to your own goals, how do you want to ask for diligent people to come into your life? So it's very, very important, because when you take all this 3 points and layered on what Gaz has already said, it helps you to show up a certain way in certain spaces. Your mindset changes. And then even when you face really difficult challenges, you keep on thinking there has to be a way out. There has to be a way out. Who do I need to be speaking to? What organization do I need to collaborate with? How else can this idea be tweaked? How can it be changed? It just makes you to keep on thinking. And it also helps you that even though there are several demands upon your life, you are able to have wisdom on how to show up correctly, because you know that what you are doing is important in the grand scheme of things.
So good. Wow. My goodness. We're back to execution again. You just have to do it. Your ideas have to leave your journals. They have to leave your notebook. They have to leave the paper, wherever it is that you drew your mind map. It has to come out. You have to give it pragmatism. You have to give it context. You have to give it relevance in our world today. That's the only way it can change things. And you have to have that respect for yourself. Respect yourself. Respect what you carry. Respect the God that is in you. Respect the vision that God has given given you, enough to show up, enough to do it, enough to keep coming back to it, enough to keep bouncing back and going bolder with it. I don't know any easier way that you can say that, because it's crystal clear. We just have to go for it. And you talked about the mindset changes that have to happen, because truly there's a lot of small thinking, shrinking, thinking, I can't do this. Who has done this before? There's nothing you want to do that you don't have a prototype for. Someone has done it. What you are dreaming of is someone's present reality. So truly you can find your prototypes, and we have those tools in vcap. There's an entire module that talks about your prototypes, your visionary prototypes, how to discern them, how to find them, what to do when you find them. So if you're still watching and you're still wondering, then you're not being diligent. That's what we're talking about. You have to be diligent. Respect your vision, respect yourself enough to say, I am worthy of this investment. I'm going to take small steps. I will take small steps to get me there. Some people think, oh goodness, I can't afford this amount. You might not be able to afford the amount as a whole, but you can pay it in installments. Have you thought of that? It's very possible. You might say, okay, 3.5 is daunting, but I can pay 3.50 every month. How about that? It's possible, and we have that available. So take that step in the direction of your vision. Respect yourself. Make that decision. Make the things that you need to shed. You heard God say it. There are people and principles that control this thing. Becoming a high-value visionary is not a wish. Wishes don't always come true. We're not doing wishes here. You have to take actionable steps. Thank you for that. Goodness, it's so hot in the room. I think we need a water break. I definitely need to cool down and just calm down so I can survive till the end of this session. I've been on fire since Tuesday, and God help me, tomorrow is almost here. So we'll take a little break and we'll be right back so my guests can just keep chilling. They're chill people.
Hello, I am Dr. Fumi Adeni. I'm the founder of Lux Dental Clinic, the creative director at Body Pantry International, and the executive director at Smile Doctor Foundation. When I joined Visionary Compass, I was running a dental clinic, but I had this burning vision in my heart to set up a fashion brand that told African stories using wearable art, telling stories with textile and clothes sewn, all by women, and then giving back to the society from our profits through the foundation. I had all these bright ideas, but I didn't know how to execute them. I didn't know how to manage a dental clinic, a fashion brand, and a non-governmental organization. Visionary Compass handed me the tools I needed to set up 3 running systems, to create teams, and to execute this vision. My vision, Body Pantry, has gone now from just something on paper and in my mind to a full-fledged business. We're employing women, we're closing the wage gap, and we're also empowering out-of-school children. Visionary Compass has been an answer to all the questions that I had. I'll forever be grateful for the gift of Visionary Compass. Thank you, Debola Dijikurumi, for being a change maker, and the whole team at the Visionary Compass. Thank you very much.
Are you ready to turbocharge your vision into reality? We present Visionary Compass Accelerator Program VCAP, a 40-week execution-driven coaching program designed for those who dare to dream big. In today's world, what sets dreamers apart from doers is the power of execution, and that is what VCAP is all about.
Whether you are an entrepreneur, a career professional, a ministry gift, a thought leader, a public servant, or someone in government, you would find the Visionary Compass Accelerator program as a powerful platform and launch pad to put momentum behind your mission.
Over the next 40 weeks, you will embark on a journey of strategic planning, skill development, and relentless execution. Our expert coaches, industry leaders, and success mentors will be with you every step of the way. Imagine being part of a community that not only believes in your vision, but also provides the tools and guidance to bring it to life.
What we have within the Visionary Compass Accelerator program are 4 distinct execution blueprints based on your mastery level. Our digital execution blueprints will support your ability to execute your vision wherever you are currently, because it offers you a plug and play step-by-step guide with specific actions and tasks that move you on to being able to get your vision to the next level. What is most exciting with the execution blueprint is that we don't just put it in your hands and leave you alone. You actually have certified accountability coaches by the International Association of Coaching in the USA that would also walk that journey with you. You also have access to Dr. Ole Konovalov's Global Visionary Leadership Coaching Certification. You have access to internships and field trips that set you up in a real industry context, whatever your service area is.
That's the Visionary Compass Accelerator difference. This isn't just a coaching program, it's a catalyst for change. Whether you're a founder, an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or someone seeking personal growth, the Visionary Compass Accelerator program will elevate you to new heights. Don't just take our word for it. Visit our website www.myvisionarycompass.com and hear from our community who have experienced the transformative power of vcap. Ready to turn your vision into reality? Join the Visionary Compass Accelerator program today and become part of a community that thrives on execution, innovation, and success. The future is here. Let's make it extraordinary together. Visit myvisionarycompass.com today.
Welcome back to the Visionary Talk Show. Today we are live with Yagazie of Gazmadu Studios and Ugochi Obidiegu, the safety chick. These are two beautiful, amazing, fireful women who have been lighting us up, literally. I feel like a dynamite about to explode, and they're just smiling and looking like they didn't do anything. We've been talking about becoming a high value visionary. And if you didn't hear anything at all, they have shared so many things with us. And the keynote of it is execution. You have to take action in the direction of your vision. So you want to go to myvisionarycompass.com. You want to apply for VCAP between today and February 3rd if you want to get the 25% founders discount. If you have a lot of money to spare and you don't need the discount, you are welcome to apply after that. We're here to accept your applications, but we want you to apply. Show that audacity. Show that you're ready to go bold and go big with your vision. Don't be small. Don't think small. Don't remain small. It's okay to start small, but you can't stay there. So, Gaz and Ugochi, can you tell us how you have built and scaled your vision over time? Because I'm sure that the version that you are now, that's not what you were when you received that vision. When Gaz came on the scene, there were accomplished photographers already, and one would wonder, oh, what's this beautiful young lady going to achieve? And you have carved a blue ocean for yourself, literally. I personally am waiting for the day you're going to photograph me. In the studio, I asked you, when are you coming to Canada? Can you please come? I'm waiting. Like, I'm really, really waiting. Bring the lady boss to us. How did you become? What strategies did you use to build and scale your vision to this level? You just opened a new studio in Ikoyi, Lagos. That's the highest of brows of residential areas in Lagos. How dare you? How did you build to that level? How did you think about it? Did the price tag not scare you? The spelling of Ikoyi, was it not daunting? How did you build your vision to this level? We want to know because we have these same things burning in our hearts too. How can we navigate to that level?
Thank you so much. I would say, I mean, it's most of the things that we have been saying here, but I think the first thing is just starting, right? Just thinking back at my journey, even though it looks like okay we've done a lot, but I just think to me it's like see when we're
Hello.
going really far, you know. But I think it's just knowing that you just have to start and start where you are with what you have now. Because sometimes we try to wait for when everything is perfect, when you have all the money. In fact, especially that one, when you have all the money. Because you're like building castles, you're just like, you know what, I'm just waiting. Let God just bless me. And God is just like, hello, can you just start? Like what Gochi said, starting is a proof that you have accepted what God has said. So I would say just start where you are, start with all what you have. And I would say secondly is really prioritize personal development over everything else. There's no, I don't know, like I'm just trying to see if there's another way we can say this thing so that it will look like maybe there's a way out. No, but there really isn't. You can see, you know, there's no other way. Do you get? Because, prioritize it over, sometimes even over buying some of your favorite things. Like, because the truth is that it is an investment in you. You can't even see like developing yourself as something that you're spending money on. Unfortunately, we're in a society where we sort of downplay the importance of personal growth, and we are invested more on the external more than the internal. But we should be the other way around. You have to prioritize that over some of the things that you want or you feel like you need now. Not in the way to think that, oh, you know what, I'm spending money. No, you're realizing that you are investing in this future that you believe so much in. Because it's an investment, you're going to get returns in multiple times. That's the thing. Like, the returns cannot be quantified to what you are actually putting in.
Exactly.
You actually can't quantify it because you can't say 10 times, because someone can be saying 10 times. For you, it will be like 20 times. It's really how much are you willing to put to work that which you have already gotten, because it has the capacity to multiply you times 50. So, I would say first to start, prioritize personal development. There's really no way around it, and stay committed to the process. It's a long-term thing, and that's commitment to, I'm in this for the long run. I'm not just coming to test the waters, right? I'm not going to back down when it gets difficult, right? I'm not going to feel like I'm not capable when it looks like I don't. I remember when, my studio was, I rented a house. It was a room and a sitting room. That's where I literally started. It was just there, and I had clients that came into that place. My room was just beside, and then the parlor was the sitting room. And with joy, I was still welcoming them. I was like, come. And then from there, we moved to a smaller studio, a really small studio. But again, I just made it look like it was everything, right? And from there, we moved. God is constantly taking us through processes. And for each process, for the next, you will know when it's time for the next level, because something will be burning on your inside. You will know that, you've been on this mountain for too long. The Lord will be telling you. And they say, Lord, what is he saying? Man, there is something you need to know that you know, because that thing is going to unlock where I'm taking you to. You will sense it.
Yes.
And for a lot of people here, they are here because they are already sensing it. It's already bubbling in your heart that, see, no, there's something more inside of me that the world needs. I've been here too much. I've looked down on myself too much. I've thought this is not possible for too long. And it's time for me to live here. And once you recognize that season, don't wait. Don't try to negotiate it, because it's now time for that shift to happen. Yeah. So 3 things I said: start with what you have and where you are with what you have. Prioritize personal development and stay committed to the process. You have to be in it for the long run.
My goodness. Awesome. Woo! 3 things. You are saying 3 things like DTK. Me too. I'll start saying 3 things now. 3 things that they shared with us. So profound like that. My goodness.
3 things.
Prioritize your personal development above everything else. So I have a sequel to that. Please break it down. What is this personal development? Because we've been saying it's so that it doesn't sound like big English. What does it mean to develop myself really? Am I not trying? Maybe I'm already in a coaching community. I'm already doing something, right? I'm reading books. What are you asking me to prioritize now? What is that next that is going to take me to where I want to go?
Am I to take that, or what you
Yes,
going to take?
please. Yes,
Oh,
please.
okay. All right. So that's when I say personal development, I would say is that um, knowing that we always have to be in a place, right, where we have to continuously grow and creating a system around it. So the thing is, you have a vision, right? There's something that you see, right? There is a place you're trying to go to. And for some of us, and that's why sort of maybe prototyping, sort of seeing, where they'll say, oh, go and, you would see, you even recognize when people are somewhere where you see yourself becoming, right? And, you can start to spot the kind of person that you envision, right? Or you can even research and all of that. And then the question you now ask is, for this place I am going to, look at where I am right now. What is the gap? What is the gap? How do I recognize this gap? Now, because it's important to recognize, because people will say, oh, I'm in coaching community. Yes, you can be in different ones, right? But the truth is that does it reflect, and is it in, does it reflect the person that you are becoming or you see yourself becoming? Or are you just there so that you satisfy yourself that you are growing? Do you get what I'm saying? Because again, if it fulfills that, then all good. But the truth is that if I'm thinking that I need to be in, I want to be leading in, UN, I want to be taking, my craft and the creative industry to the ends of the earth internationally, there is a kind of positioning that I have to be intentional about. I must be intentional about what I'm feeding myself. Because you can't say that you want to feed yourself international and then you're remaining local. You're still taking local chicken and biscuit, and you can't get there now. It's like, that destination is going to define how that journey is going to be.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily about, because there's so much noise, there's so many things out there. So that's why it's so important that we are intentional. We are realizing we are aligned with what I am receiving, where I am right now. Is it going to contribute to where I am going to? Do I see people that are like me in this place? Or am I just here to just occupy space and time? Because we don't even have all that time, right? So it's like sometimes you want to try to, spend less, right? But the truth is that you spend more time, and it's counterproductive. When you can, it's always counterproductive because you can always recover more money, but time we just can't. And we are constantly, in fact, at anybody at any level they are must understand that we're on a race. Like, we have to live with a sense of urgency. You don't have that much time like you think you do. That's the truth.
I had to, I was here in the studio shaking and shivering, and I said, look, there's no way I can give off or give up this very important moment. I feel like one of the most important things that can transform the life, the journey, and the future of any visionary. And when we say visionaries, I know some people could hear and be like, well, DDK, that's not really me. I don't even know who I am yet. If you have breath in your nostril, and you will someday, even if not right now, succumb to the process that really releases who you were born to be that you had not manifested previously. You're a visionary. So when, oh gosh, it was too good. The moment she hit the nail on the head was when Yagazi started to say, there's a lot of noise. It's not enough to be reading books, listening to podcasts, being a part of coaching communities and taking courses. It's not enough.
Yeah.
Because something happened in the course of the last 3 to 5 years, that started to create an emotional satisfaction that merely feeds the ego. It's a certain kind of religiosity that hit us the way that spirituality hit us. People downgraded spirituality to religiosity the moment they started to partake in the activities, but had no measuring matrix for who they were becoming. The difference between religiosity and spirituality is that what you are taking, you're not becoming like what you are beholding, because you did catch this. So it's the very same thing that has happened with coaching. And I dare say many people of faith are falling for the same trap. They are signing on to courses and reading books and being a part of coaching communities. And like Yagazi said it better than I could ever say it. The moment you know that what you're in is working for you, it's the point when you start to look like what made you sign up for that, really start to manifest. So it's the principle of understanding your cornerstone need and confirming if your personal growth journey is meeting that need. It's the way that we easily sell VCAP. It's the way we're able to show people, look, if execution is what you're looking for, if you're at a point where you want to stop dreaming and you really want to birth and build out a meaningful assignment, get into VCAP. If you've done so much vision, personal transformation, you've healed your mind, you've shifted your thinking, your self-belief is higher, your relationships are better, you have a new money mindset, you're creating value with your work, but you're now in a place where you're saying, DDK, this thing has got to be bigger than me. I want to institutionalize, I want to build high performing teams, and I want to create structure that helps me scale my vision. Get into VCAP. Let's say you're in the third category where you're like, DDK, I've birthed other things. I'm in that multi-influential space. And I've got this fresh baby that I want to, it's almost, I'm pivoting into something fresh, and I need a community and I need an infrastructure that challenges me to release that thing quickly. And we have a lot of people who've done great things with their careers, come to the point where they're like, I want to give back, I want to build a legacy work. Get into VCAP. If you're clear on what you want, don't listen to all these powerful visionaries and say, well, we still had our own Zoom call yesterday in our coaching. We're not even playing a competitive game, anything, because we are nobody's mate, to be honest. And that's on a period. So the deal here, Yagazi, I'm going to actually frame this moment in time. I owe you dollars for this wisdom. This is the way to change our lives. To simply ask, am I becoming the person I desire that made me make the commitment to get into this community? If it's not working, it's not working. You see. And I'll get out of your faces, but that was so good. And I needed to have.
Gosh, thank you. Amazing. Hey, Ochi, please, in the middle of all this, what did VCAP do for you? How did VCAP transition you from who you were into becoming that person that you envision, the vision that you had in your heart? How did VCAP change things for you? And when you finish, we'll go to you guys and then we'll talk about the execution blueprint. I don't like talking about it in the beginning because everywhere just erupts once I mention execution blueprint. But what did VCAP do for you? You can exclude execution blueprint. We'll go
Okay, so I would say it handed me with tools. So when I
Okay.
go to learn something, right, I go with my whole heart. So if there are assignments, if there are tasks, I take note and I do them. I don't do them because I'm going to submit to someone, but I do them because I know that in doing them, I'm getting the information that I need for my own work. And so those tools, those assignments, those tasks, it helped me to plan. And from having those tools that helped me to plan, it helped me to now separate my multi-influential flows, because now I understood better and then I was able to rearrange my life. So when people look at me and they say, you are doing so many things, how do you do it? The truth is, I don't feel overwhelmed by the things I'm doing because it's arranged a certain way and things are happening in a phased approach. So there is no overwhelm in that sense, and I'm still able to do the things that really matter in the grand scheme of things. So the tools helped. Then I separated my organizations, and then it now helped me to be able to pinpoint the opportunities and the funding I needed for the work. Because when you do the assignment and the task, so I can give a practical example. There was one of the documents that was a strategic blueprint or something like that. And I did that as that task. And in there, I had written that we were going to do a game app, and how was this going to be funded? It was going to be funded through grants. By the next few months, when the Tonelumelu Foundation sent an email about this partnership they had done with some international bodies, and they wanted to do follow-on funding of $10,000 to 100 women that were currently alumni, immediately I saw it. I said, my money has come. Because I knew that plan that we made, now here is the resource to make it happen. But if the plan has not been done, even if the opportunity floats around you, you will not see it for what it is. So providing the tools, demarcating the organization, and making and arranging how things are supposed to be, then being open-minded to now see the opportunities and the tools that are needed. So it made a really big difference on me, because from that making the app, that same year we got another funding through NYU Changemakers to execute a research, because that was part of my own strategic blueprint. So I'm not doing many things, but the things I am doing, they're strategic for where I am going. Because just feeding off of what Gas said, when you see the picture, then you backtrack. What are the things I need to begin to do today that will lead me to that picture? And you begin, so that way, when there's all this distraction on social media, you're not really bothered, because you know what you're doing. You know where you're going. And so it really helps to curb distraction. It helps to curb should I say, the fear of missing out and all of those things that, people are just so distracted nowadays, but it just really helps you to stay focused. And so that's what I would say vcap did. And then, of course, the community. The community. So the community is in three ways, right? When, there's this thing that people sing, there's this song people sing, Lonely at the Talk Bank. That would not be me. That would never be me, because I'm not going to be lonely at the top. I'm going to be there with my friends, my family, my mentors, my mentees, because we're all growing together. So the community provides encouragement. So when you are in that space and then you're seeing what other people are going through, then you are encouraged on your own journey. Then it brings energy. Like guys already mentioned, you are there, did wow, I've done well, one. And then you say, somebody just did 10. And what's going on here? So even if you want to feel lethargic, you just encourage yourself in the Lord and you begin to do what you're supposed to do. So it encourages you. And then, of course, support and friendships. If I have a question, if there are certain things I need to get done, I just need to look within the vcap community, and I know somebody that can answer the question or that can provide the expertise or the support as is necessary. And they do the same for me. Many times they'll come to my DM to say, I thought of this, and I thought of you. Yes, please come and pick my brain. I'll pick your own too, as the case may be. So, that community there, it just supports you. So aside, the practical tools that you have, aside, being able to structure your organization properly and your multi-influential flows, and then being able to spot opportunities that you need for the work, the community also just really makes a huge difference, because where you're going is far. And you need people that reason alike, so that it doesn't seem like, what's wrong with this girl? Her own is always too much. No, it's not too much. It's just that we're not at the same frequency.
Come on now. What was that? No, what was that? What was that? My own is not too much. We're just not on the same frequency. My goodness. That's a nice way of saying we're just not mates. We're different. Goodness. What? vcap gives you the tools you need. What struck me the most about what you said, Ugochi, was the fact that because you had the tools you needed from vcap, you could position yourself for opportunities. And just like that, the equivalence of your vision gravitated towards you. It was passing by and you saw it and you caught it because you were ready. How many times do these grants, these opportunities, these fellowships, this funding, they're always there, but they keep passing. We're not equipped. We're not ready. We don't even know we don't even know what we're looking for. We don't know what we need. We haven't clarified our vision. So we can't even apply. You can't click apply. You look at the email, you jump and pass. You don't know it's yours. So we're leaving things on the table. If you want to catch the opportunities that are yours, that are for your vision, that are for you in this decade, you need to get into vcap. There's no two, guys has been saying it. We're looking for a nice way to say it, but that's the only way to say it. Just get in. just get in. You need that community, the kind of community where our own is too much together. Like really, we're catalytic like that. Let's catalyze each other. Let's fast track it. When I think that I'm trying, I'm doing well, I give myself a pat on the back. Someone says I've done 10, I'll be like, okay, let's go. You need that community, not a community that drags you back or that they say you have tried now. You're already doing so many things. It's okay. You are successful, you're wealthy, your life has changed. No, I want more. There's more for me. And thank you for that. You need that energy in the community. You need that drive. You need them to answer your questions with clarity, with expertise. Yes. Because there's some people are fire, they will just kill your fire because there's no expertise. They don't understand what you're talking about. But because you guys have had the same diet, you've gone through the same process, they are thinking like you. They will even see ahead. They'll tell you, okay, they'll connect you. The connections, the energy, the propulsions. Truly, vcap gives momentum to your mission. You have to have a mission, and then vcap will give you that momentum. It's amazing. And thank you for sharing that. Your multi-influential flows can be arranged. You can do a lot of things without overwhelm. You can face them out systematically. And people are wondering, how are you doing it? Just DDK is just a perfect example. You're wondering how, here. You're getting emails from different directions. You're like, is she a spirit? What's going on? How is she launching all these things at the same time? There are systems and there's a way around it. These things have been bottled. They're in vcap. If you want to get access to it, you just have to get in and just know how to arrange your multi-influential flow. So you're not confused. You're not distracted by the noise. You can drown out the overwhelm with laser focus. Gosh, this is too good. Please, guys, what was your reaction when you got the execution blueprint? The famous execution blueprint that vcap is renowned for. How did it help you? What exactly, I want to know exactly what you did with that execution blueprint.
Well, first of all, I loved the anticipation that we had just before it was coming. It was like there's something big coming, you guys prepare yourself. But when it came, I think it was just phenomenal. I don't know. It was just exceptional, and I think that was one of the highest points for me, because vcap wasn't just a place where you learn, where you build a community, where you are inspired, but where you get to execute. See, like, and that's really it. It was, there was an intentionality with ensuring that everyone that is part of this is committed to executing. So even if you felt like you're not so much of a doer, you will do. You will take action. Like, there's no that way around it. Like that vision, we will bet it. You're here already. Because there are things you're supposed to do, like on a weekly or monthly. There are coaches, that mentors are following you up on it. They're like, hello, how's it going? We're watching you, have you submitted this? I'm like, wow, can I breathe? But it really, really challenged me, and one of the things it really also did for me was it took away, especially when you're someone where you already have a lot of responsibilities and you have a team, you have all of those things. The execution blueprint wasn't just helping us to execute on a personal level or from a CEO level, but it was teaching us how to go beyond that, but to also execute on the team level. So he's telling you these are the things you need to delegate to the team. This is how you must bring them in. This is the things you need to push them, So there was that structure to say, no, the intention is not for you to be overwhelmed. The intention is for you to know what you're supposed to do and know exactly how you're supposed to deploy it through systems that would allow you to keep doing it. Yes. And also, it's not a one-way street for everyone. It's very tied to that which you are trying to achieve or where you are going to. So for someone, it could be clarity, and then another person is build, another person is scale. What you're executing in that season or that time is different from everyone. So it's almost like we're together, but there is a sense of personalized service that is being given to everyone. So that when you're done, you're not just done from the place of, oh, I just got this, but you got what is for you. You did what you were supposed to do. I didn't just do what everyone is doing. I did what I am supposed to do in alignment with the vision that I have, or the alignment with the goal that I have set for myself that year.
Amazing. So the execution blueprint is not just a straight jacket. It's personalized to your journey, to your vision at the individual level and at a team level. So it shows you how to build your team, how to put the system in place that is going to scale your vision. And that's what you really want to do, to grow your influence, your impact, and build a legacy vision. Wow, amazing. Amazing. What was your reaction to your execution blueprint? How many pages was yours?
I think it was about 90 pages or 96.
Goodness.
Yes. Like Gas said, we kept hearing this thing is coming and it's going to blow your mind. You know how it really blew our minds, because after it landed, people had to come and start talking on it, like, and all of that. But when I went through it, I just scanned through, page by page, and I was just blown away by the intentionality. You can see that VCAP really wants you to succeed. And so with the things that you're supposed to read, the actions you're supposed to take on a weekly basis, what you should do over 1 month, what you should do over 3 months, it's just really planned. And it just helps you, it helps you to build an institution. So you're not just doing something that is just, it's just one person. No, it's for the future. It's for an institution, right? And it was such a great tool. So I'm the kind of person that if you give me a tool, I can run with it. So those kinds of things work for me. So I just had to sit down, read, share with my team members. Okay, you are going to do this one. We were going to, and all of that. So it was really helpful to the work. And I mentioned the strategic blueprint earlier. It was one of the tasks within the execution blueprint, and I still make references to some of those documents that I created even today in 2024. And the good thing is, with that, even when you have another idea, another vision, and all of that, you are still able to use the principles that you have learned. So it's transferable. So it's knowledge that is with you for life. It's not something that after now you can't use it anymore. It's with you, and you can really use it to do great things.
My goodness, it helps you build an institution. I like that comment was spotlighted. Wow. So it's literally rinse and repeat. So the next endeavor you have, the next thing you want to do, and the next, you have the tools. Just replicate. Amazing. No wonder you guys are doing great things. You didn't tell us that is the way now. My goodness. You just take it and you go again. You're not the only one that has said this, Ugochi. Literally every visionary that has come on here has said, I'm still using VCAP. I'm still passing through VCAP. Literally, it's still shaping my life and how I build, how I scale, how I grow everything that I'm doing. And you are even telling us now that you can use it to launch your next endeavor. My goodness. That is golden. God bless TDK for this thing. She said when she was done with the execution blueprint, she felt like she had just delivered another baby. No wonder. It's truly breathtaking. And in that case, we shouldn't be surprised by the giant strides that we're seeing from every VCAP visionary without even knowing them. When you even look at, you look at the poster, when you look at all of these pictures, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Is there a template for this picture thing? Why do they all look a certain way? Why are they all showing up a certain way? There is a playbook, guys, and you need to get into VCAP to get that playbook. And you'll keep reinventing yourself. You'll keep growing. You'll just keep getting bolder and more audacious. And it will be your turn to come on the show like this and tell us, I listened that day, I couldn't sit down, I couldn't sleep. When God said I couldn't sleep. When we finished the session yesterday, I just sat here and I was crying. I was literally bawling. I said, I can't even believe what I'm hearing. It's literally unbelievable. We can touch the things that you guys are saying. We can feel it. That it's not a vibe. You are literally looking the part. You're looking like our dreams. You're looking at who we want to become. And we are so eager to get into that community. You want to get into vcap. It's not, don't even, if you didn't have any script before, Ugochi has told you to trash any small thinking you might have. Go there and apply, right? Don't say I don't have enough. Go first. Apply first. The equivalence of your vision is coming to you, but you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. So open the application and start it. You may not have the money. Apply. Start first. Do you know if something is coming? Do you know if Bill Gates or something, or Elon Musk is going to come and say, vcap, I want to sponsor certain scholarships and I want to pay for 10 visionaries? It'll be those that were ready. It'll be those that had their application done, their blueprint, their vision written out, articulated. Those are the ones that will catch it. And I hope that you are that person. So you are the person for the job. You have all it takes. Please just go for it. Go to my vision. I'm begging now. myvisionarycompass.com. You want to apply, and the CEO has been generous to give a 25% discount from now till February 3rd. After that, you can still apply, but the discount will not be available. So that's another equivalent of your vision that just came. 25% off. Take it. Start from there first. Plan your finances according to that. Make that investment in yourself. God said it about 3 or 4 times that you have to prioritize your personal development. Don't settle for the status quo. Don't plateau somewhere and say we're doing Zoom call. This is not it now. You gotta go for it. You gotta go bold. You gotta go bigger. You gotta go better. I want you to speak about the demands of vcap, guys. You're obviously married. You have a family. You have a growing business, a thriving business. So you are not idle and doing nothing and maybe on a trust fund and just living large. How did you cope with the demands of vcap, that you were able to go through it and be diligent about it? You've already told us that we should respect ourselves and respect our vision and go for it. But how did you juggle the commitment that was required in vcap? Because some people are listening right now and they're thinking, I get it, I'm interested, but I have a lot on my plate right now. I have commitments that are not going away. I don't really think I can be committed to this, so I don't want to waste my time. Can you speak to that, please?
Thank you for that question. For me, right, I would say that there would really never be a best time. Because the commitment in our lives just never gets easier. That's the truth.
Yes.
Like if you think about yourself and think about how far you've come, just think and imagine, has there been a time that maybe there was one time that you just had one entire year and you were not doing anything? You didn't have work, you didn't have children. It's like a life pause. I want to go and study. But it never really gets easier, right? And that's why it's so important what we talked about, just plotting that and knowing where you're supposed to be at time. Because sometimes, right, when people say I have a lot, it's really because you have committed yourself in too many places that you don't need to be.
Yeah.
So it's not that you're actually but it's like you have put your hands, there are just too many things. So it's like if you do a life audit, you realize that, see, there are some things right now that I am doing that I need to let go of, because you will need to make room for where you're going to. So you're saying, I want to be in, it's not enough to say you sign up and do that. It's important. And because it's important, it's going to come in at the top of your priority list.
Yes.
Some things will have to give way, right? Now, the things that are giving way is probably not, it's not your work, it's not your family. There are things, right? There are places that you're committing your time to that you don't need to be committing your time to. There are groups that you belong to that you need to say goodbye to, because right now, where I am going to demands a next level of me that I don't have this amount of time to throw around all over the place. There are, events, there are things you go for that really you don't need to go for. Maybe because you need to sleep earlier so that you wake up earlier and commit that 3 hours to learning.
Yes.
So when we say we don't have time, I beg to disagree, because the truth is that you will always make time for that which you consider important to you. So if this is important to you, you're going to do a live audit and say, come, where do I need to, what do I need to shift? Because there are those things, right? How do I need to restructure my life How do I need to reorganize my life to suit what I am doing right now? What is the help that I need? What systems do I need to put in place, and where do I need to put them in place? Because the truth is that if it's that important, if the future you desire is that important, you will realize that, you're not in a dress rehearsal. Life is happening now.
Yeah.
It's happening now. So you have to take the decisions that you need to take now, and it's not going to get easier. The earlier you're able to commit to it, the better. And I want to say that the truth is that doing that, and even the rigorousness of, it actually prepares you. Because when I look at myself now, the things that I'm doing, and I'm just like, wow, like, how did I become this person? Like, it's almost like my brain, my capacity has expanded so much to be able to do too many things, because I'm like, I trained myself, and vcap trained me for the time in my life where I'm going to have this, have that, and then I'm still sane. And my friend is saying, guys, how do you have all of this and you're still very calm? I'm like, yeah, I've been trained.
Increased
I'm
capacity.
Yeah, so that's what I'll say.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Vika prepares you for the rigor of your future. Truly, more is going to be required of you. And you have to have brutal mastery of your time, your focus, and your energy. And if you can get through VCAP, you can get through the rest of your life with that same rigor, with that same energy, and that same tenacity. So it builds you for your future. If you can't, we can't be complaining that we don't have time for VCAP and we want to run Fortune 500 companies, or what you want to get to do. How do you think those people are doing it? It requires a lot. It takes a lot, and you are building yourself for that next level. Gosh, that one hit home like like strong meat. When last were you free? Maybe when we were babies, you had no agenda, just coast, do whatever you like, and the load doesn't get lighter. But we know how to navigate and bear that load better, so we're not even overwhelmed. We still appear looking fresh, looking sweet, looking awesome, yet we're doing great things, and I love it. And you guys are giving it. So you look like you're walking the talk. I mean, just that's awesome, Ugochi. Where do you see VCAP taking the visionaries of the future, those that come on board and that say, I am worthy of this investment, I'm going to do this? Where is VCAP going to take me? How is it preparing me for the evolving needs of this decade? Whether I live in Africa or I live outside Africa, maybe in the diaspora, the Japa, the Japa visionaries that insist that they have a stake in the future of the continent. Where do you see VCAP taking them and preparing them accordingly?
So the first thing that vcap is going to be doing is that it's going to be changing mindsets. It's going to help people really see themselves properly. I find that when people have a better sense of who they are, it affects the way they show up in the world. So just by being where light is, where there is revelation, where you're getting new insight, some bad behaviors will just drop off naturally, and you just begin to be a better person. And once your head is in that space, the next thing it begins to do for you is that you begin to see how to solve problems in the world. So when you see things that they're just not right, you're going to keep on thinking of, how can I solve this? And if I am not the one that is equipped to solve it, who can I partner with? Who can I work with to make it happen? Because many times the things that we're going to perceive in our heart, right, it's not maybe for us to execute by ourselves. Maybe we have to, work with some other people to make it happen, or just, really think bigger. So it puts you in that problem solving context. And the truth is, there is just so much going on in the world that you can't just stay okay that, well, me and my family were all right. No, if you don't try to look around you to see how you can contribute to solving the problem, those problems are eventually going to come back and harm you and your family by extension. So you can't behave like, well, it's not my business, because at the end of the day, we're all here together. There's not going to be a separate world that you're going to live in with your family. You are still going to live here. So as long as you're here, it's going to make it to become a problem solver, right? And, speaking to problem solving now, somebody might say, but I don't even know what's my vision or what I am supposed to do. So the first thing in, maybe knowing what that vision is and all of that is perception. Ideas drop in your heart, right? You see something and it just doesn't, it drops in your heart. How are you going to solve it if you don't even have a system of catching it? So you have to be able to catch it, because when you think and a novel idea drops in your mind, if you don't have a system of catching it in that moment, when you try to remember it later, you may not remember. So catch it. So you perceive it, you catch it, once you catch it, then you begin to do some research about it. So what is being done about it by other people? What technology is being used? You do your research. Based on your research, the information you get, then you begin to plan. Okay, so maybe, oh, by myself I can't do this, but if I volunteer with so and so organization, we can make it happen. Or okay, maybe I can partner with so and so. I'm sure it was in planning that Gaz Madu and Lady Biba came up with that lady boss shoot, and they saw how they could collaborate and provide photography for working women that needed it. So you plan. And then after planning, you have to move it from paper to the real world, right? So execution. And then after execution, you review. So you review, okay, this one worked, this one did not work. Okay, so how are we going to make it better? And you take your lessons and it continues. So don't say, oh, but I don't have a vision. You have, you just were not paying attention. So just calm down, just begin to think about it. And having a vision does not mean maybe you have to go out and start setting up your own business. Maybe not now, right? It might happen eventually, but where you are, the space that you are right now, how can you begin to perceive, do some research, plan, take action and review, and rinse and repeat? Because what this is doing for you is making you that high value visionary who has immense capacity to contribute to the world. So you can see that with Visionary Compass, you are learning, your mindset is changing, then you are becoming a problem solver. And then of course, the new program that has, this international certification that, it just, really just improves your profile. Guys, when people are looking for people to do something in the world, they are going to search your credentials, right? So it's great to have the digital footprints, like we call them, because many times now when people are looking for someone to solve a certain problem, they are going to certain platforms. So they are going to Google, they are going to LinkedIn, they are going to Instagram. When they check, are they going to find you? So you have to show up correct, and credentialing, certifications actually make that happen for you. Okay, and what else again? When your mindset is changed, you're a problem solver and you have the necessary credentials and all of that, you're an asset. You're an asset to the world. You're what we really call this HVV we've been talking about all day. Yeah, Mrs. Notch, over to you.
Oh, thank you. What? It's HVV, hashtag HVV. Let's go there. My goodness. VCAP just expands your mindset. You start to, you can accommodate those thoughts now, and you know how to discern them. You know how to catch them. There's an entire module in VCAP that just talks about that, understanding how light comes to you, co-creating with God. Ideas are coming to you, but you don't understand. You are off radar. It's like
Your
you
antenna
don't
is
understand. You don't know what's going on. When you see like a sonic radar, and the military system can detect when a missile has entered into the airspace, a missile that is not visible to the naked eye yet, but they can see it. It's showing, it's beeping. They can track the proximity. VCAP gives you that capacity to collect your ideas, catch them, and do something with it. It's ideas that will take to execution. That's it. If you don't know what that idea is, you can't execute anything. And the credentialing is amazing. The Oleg Konovalov certification he's the Da Vinci of visionary leadership. So imagine having that badge of honor on your profile. People know that you mean business, and those opportunities will gravitate towards you. They may not be coming now because there's no substance. So come into VCAP and get that substance, get that credentialing, get that badge of honor. Ladies, I want to congratulate you on your VCAP badge of honor. You truly are trophies. You are worthy. You're worthy of this badge of honor. And my heart is so glad. I'm sure everybody is glad that they had the opportunity to sit with you for 90 minutes here. Thank you so much for the amazing work that you do, solving problems, elevating the quality of life of people. I am a big fan of what Ugochi is doing in safety, maybe because I'm in that area myself. And I can't wait for the day that Gaz and Lady Biba are going to just capture my project. Guys, you are owing me. You must come to my country. Thank you so much for creating value that the world can gravitate towards, for the solutions that you create. We're so glad, we are so honored to have spent this time with you. Thank you for responding to our call, for honoring our invitation at Visionary Compass. We are proud of you. We are delighted to be associated with your brand. Thank you so very much. I'll let you go now, even though I don't want to. Thank you so very much, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for having us, and thank you, Gochi, thank you, Vika, thank you. Vika. We learned a lot from this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, that was amazing. Yeah. You want to come into vcap, get into vcap. It's very simple. myvisionarycompass.com. Start your application. I'm getting reports that some of us are starting our application and we're not finishing it. I hope that's because you're trying to put your essay together. But you need to finish what you started. This is execution at the barest minimum. Your ability to even submit an application and to go for the opportunities that you desire. You have seen that vcap shows you where you want to go. So take that step in the right direction. Apply at myvisionarycompass.com. You can still get the 25% founders discount. You'll be glad you did. That will put some extra money in your pocket that you can use for some other things. We're glad that you spent time with us today. Tomorrow is day 4. And we're going to be live with another visionary and our lead coach, another visionary who has crafted a blue ocean for herself and is doing so many things across her multi-influential expressions. You don't want to miss it tomorrow. Thank you for joining us so far. Today was awesome, and tomorrow is going to be even better. It will be a resounding closure to the Visionary Talk Show series this year. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you, and have a good one.
Are you ready to turbocharge your vision into reality? We present Visionary Compass Accelerator Program VCAP, a 40-week execution-driven coaching program designed for those who dare to dream big. In today's world, what sets dreamers apart from doers is the power of execution, and that is what VCAP is all about.
Whether you are an entrepreneur, a career professional, a ministry gift, a thought leader, a public servant, or someone in government, you would find the Visionary Compass Accelerator program as a powerful platform and launch pad to put momentum behind your mission.
Over the next 40 weeks, you will embark on a journey of strategic planning, skill development, and relentless execution. Our expert coaches, industry leaders, and success mentors will be with you every step of the way. Imagine being part of a community that not only believes in your vision, but also provides the tools and guidance to bring it to life.
What we have within the Visionary Compass Accelerator program are 4 distinct execution blueprints based on your mastery level. Our digital execution blueprints will support your ability to execute your vision wherever you are currently, because it offers you a plug and play step-by-step guide with specific actions and tasks that move you on to being able to get your vision to the next level. What is most exciting with the execution blueprint is that we don't just put it in your hands and leave you alone. You actually have certified accountability coaches by the International Association of Coaching in the USA that would also walk that journey with you. You also have access to Dr. Oleg Konovalov's Global Visionary Leadership Coaching Certification. You have access to internships and field trips that set you up in a real industry context, whatever your service area is.
That's the Visionary Compass Accelerator difference. This isn't just a coaching program. It's a catalyst for change. Whether you're a founder, an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or someone seeking personal growth, the Visionary Compass Accelerator program will elevate you to new heights. Don't just take our word for it. Visit our website www.myvisionarycompass.com and hear from our community who have experienced the transformative power of VCAP. Ready to turn your vision into reality? Join the Visionary Compass Accelerator program today and become part of a community that thrives on execution, innovation, and success. The future is here. Let's make it extraordinary together. Visit myvisionarycompass.com today.